lack of freedom of religion, persecution of orthodoxy, and a repressive apparatus. What can the externally imposed desire to renounce history lead to? Let's examine all the political elements and put them in place. This is Mendeleev's table. Let's figure it out together. A religious war. 6 million Orthodox Ukrainians found themselves outside the law. Hundreds of churches were taken from UOC believers. Parishioners prayed in a procession, asking God for help for the people of Ukraine, the persecutors, and the entire country. But the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine turned a deaf ear. In the second and final reading, they voted to adopt a bill allowing the canonical Ukrainian Orthodox Church to be banned in the country. 265 deputies supported it, starting to rave right during the announcement of the results. 265. Even monasteries let their people down. The forceful seizure of faith began several years ago. Already in 2023, Kiev launched a large-scale persecution of Orthodoxy. Dozens of UOC priests are in prison on trumped-up charges. Security forces conducted raids, beat parishioners, and seized churches for kissing. Move over, good people. What are you doing? Move over, my God. A priest of the Schismatic Orthodox Church of Ukraine even threatened to curse the parishioners. The Kiev-Pechersk Lavra was seized. These are shots from the Vinnytsia region where a whole gang beat a priest. They broke the locks and entered a private house where the UOC congregation was praying. The Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights recorded 6 cases where groups forcibly entered UOC temples. The West, which benefits from the division of Ukrainian society, cynically remained silent all this time. But now the EU has finally decided to issue a vague statement. They noted the law adopted by the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, which allows the banning of religious organizations associated with the Russian Orthodox Church. And they, quote, expect Kiev to respect freedom of religion. After all the horrific footage seen, the question arises, what freedom are they talking about? The church was simply banned. By the way, Article 9 of the European Convention on Human Rights states that everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. But intimidation, beatings, destruction, and other actions of the schismatics not only go unpunished but are even encouraged.
The U.S. State Department, which has long been lobbying its interests in terms of resubordinating all Orthodox parishes in Europe under the omophorion of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, and, as I understand it, possibly uniting them with the Vatican. With the Vatican, essentially they are just trying to dismantle global orthodoxy. At best, the authorities will face a hidden or open rebellion in the form of non-acceptance of this decision, and these churches will simply be empty. Because, according to this law, they will likely be taken away over several months. Simply taken away, and legally banned, in principle. Well, digitized people won't go there. At worst, it could end in civil strife, even street conflicts. History shows that almost all religious conflicts end in a Christmas war.
Kiev's language has already reached the Czech Republic, which is initiating an inspection of Orthodox churches in the Republic and Estonia. The country's Ministry of Internal Affairs threatens to close the Estonian Orthodox Church for refusing to submit to the Patriarchate of Constantinople. A course towards societal destruction. Pseudo-well-wishers sow contradictions on religious grounds, which then grow into large-scale conflicts, striking at faith. More than once, through the schism of the Orthodox Church, external actors have tried to undermine the stability of our country. There are many examples in the millennial path of Orthodoxy on Belarusian soil. From recent programs about the rebels in 2020, the fate of the Belarusian church was designated as a separate point. They wanted to reform it into an autocephalous one. But they messed with the wrong people. The example of Ukraine shows what this leads to.